comes to sports. Being that it's the last full week of Black History Month, February, we're going to close this month out in style. I know we're coming up at the end of our podcast. We had so much fun tonight.
Yeah.
Epic podcast tonight. But basically, that's what I'm going to say the rules, repeat the rules again. We're not going to just cover, just harp on those we know about. The Jackie Robinsons, Off the Ashes, we had tennis on earlier. Hank Aaron, and we all know who those guys are. Just we don't know who those cats are.
Yes.
But many people do not know about the little known Black history facts out there, particularly in sports, that people don't know. So that's why I'm using this segment to educate folks on. So without further ado, I have three. I know we normally do two. I have three. Because what I think is special, because something that's special that happened earlier today. Well, first of all, we talked tennis earlier. So my first Black history moment in sports comes from tennis. Before the Williams sisters, before Zena Garrison, there was Althea Gibson. Now, who's Althea Gibson, you might ask? She played through the 1950s, and she has 5 titles under her belt. Won the French Open once, won Wimbledon twice, and won the U.S. Open twice. She didn't have a long career. She only played, I think, she only played in the 50s and early 60s. But the fact is that when she played, she won, and she won a lot. And there's another special thing about her. Well, two special things. She went to FAMU. She's a FAMU graduate. Florida A&M on the full athletic scholarship. And one more thing, she pledged AKA, Alpha Kappa Alpha, as well. So, which is special because I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. So, again, one of the things I think is cool is that, again, before it's the Williams sisters, before Zena Garrison, there was one out there, Gibson. And I thought it was a cool thing to share. And I wish I had the wherewithal to point that out to Janina earlier. She would have really appreciated it, but we ran out of time in this segment. But that's my first one. My second one comes in the form of track and field. Now, I mentioned Jesse Owens earlier. Is that many people know about him, obviously, but what most people do not know was in college, he wasn't the only fastest dude in the world. There were two other guys who were fast, who were just as fast. Eulace Peacock, that's spelled Eulace, Peacock, and Ralph Metcalfe. They were, with Jesse Owens, they were the 3 fastest men in the world in the 1930s. And there's an article on SI.com about those two. And it's called Faster Than the Fastest. That's the name of the article. And it goes in depth of those two brothers as it relates to Jesse Owens. So again, in the 1930s, we all knew about, people know about Jesse Owens being the fastest dude in the world, but he was not the only one. Again, Eulace Peacock and Ralph Metcalfe, 2 of the 3 fastest men in the world in the 1930s. And one last thing, one Black history moment is close to my heart, is one John Burlew. Now, who's John Burlew, you might ask? Well, first of all, the personal connection is he's my father-in-law. He passed a few years ago when my son was 2 years old. So he's been gone from us for 9 years. We still miss him every day, but there's a couple of cool things about him. He was the first Black man to be president of the Cincinnati Bar Association.
Wow.
The first Black man, I think I don't have it in front of me, but I think in the early 1980s, he was the first one. And there's just a sports component to this, believe it or not. Aside from him being an avid sports fan, he was actually a college football player who went to Hanover College on a full athletic scholarship. And he was a class of 1970. And he played offensive lineman. And he also got a letter to try out for the Dallas Cowboys upon his graduation. So he obviously pursued a law degree, but the fact of the matter is that he had a chance to make it to the NFL was pretty cool, I thought. So again, my 3 Black History moments in sports are Althea Gibson, Eulace Peacock, Ralph Metcalfe in track and field, and John Burlew, the first Black president of the Cincinnati Bar Association and former college football player who had a chance to play in the NFL.